do miss the days when you could just shoot a man for laughing at you. Word of warning, this establishment, we do not bother to call 911.
Cassidy got out, and now it's our turn. God's not gonna kick his own ass.
What exactly is the question?
My question is, if it breaks the spell and gets us the hell out of here, why don't we just kill her?
Let me make one thing crystal clear. You bust up in my office like that ever again, I will cut your balls off and roll them like dice.
You gonna blow on them first?
Boom. Wynonna Earp.
That's
Hi,
right.
everybody. Welcome back to the Phantom Zone podcast. I'm Charles Skaggs.
And I'm Karen Lindsay.
She's the ever-lovely Karen Lindsay.
Yeah.
And we have new opening music this week.
We do.
Here in episode 147 of the Phantom Zone for the week ending July 21st, 2018.
Super timely.
Yes. So, because here it is. You know, we're getting here toward the end of our summer season. We're on the back half of our summer season, and we have a new show, Wynonna Earp, to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of hoping that, like, maybe in our upcoming, what are we on now, season 5?
Mm-hmm. I have this as 4A.
So, okay, this is 4A, because I was thinking, you know, like, Treacher would be good for a good quote.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked that one.
I think that would have been maybe a different Preacher quote, maybe something by Cassidy.
Yeah,
like,
Cassidy hasn't had a lot of really great ones yet. So, I mean, he's had a few.
He did have that one here that we talked about last week, which was the where he says, like, here I am in Voodoo Disneyland quote.
Yeah.
That would be a good quote.
Yeah, that was, he muttered a little bit for that one. I like this one because it says God can't kick his own ass.
Right.
Which
And
I
it's
thought
Tulip.
was funny. And it was Tulip. Right.
Tulip's always great.
And
So,
we
yeah.
have already had a Cassidy clip feature.
Oh, that's right, we did.
We did.
We did.
This is my very honest outfit.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
that's right. Thank you. Very well spotted.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, obviously, we're going to talk about Preacher, and we're going to talk about Wynonna Earp. So we're going to talk about Preacher 304, The Tombs. We're going to talk about Cloak and Dagger 108, Ghost Stories. So get your flashlights ready to hold up to your face.
That's right.
Among the campfire. Luke Cage 205, All Sold Out. I like that title.
A little bit of a pun there.
And yeah, exactly, which actually works really well as a double meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wynonna Earp, the season 3 premiere, Blood Red and Going Down.
Which is a song title.
Apparently they're all song titles.
Are
I
they
looked this
this
up.
season?
No, the entire series. They're all country and western songs.
Are they really?
Look them up.
Cool.
They're all That's the thing, that Wynonna Earp, for those who haven't realized this, because we haven't really talked about it, so it's kind of new. All the Wynonna Earp episode titles from season 1 on, all country music song titles.
Awesome. I did not know that.
Yeah. So Karen learned something today.
I did. I like learning something new every day.
Yeah. Well, that's why everybody, hopefully you're here at the Phantom Zone. So let's just dive right in.
Let's do Preacher 304.
Preacher, The Tombs.
The Tombs. Or
Yes.
the Tombs.
The Tombies. Written by Mark. I got a laugh out of that one. Written by Bart Stegeman because it was so stupid. Directed by Wayne Yip.
Yep.
Yippee!
Yay. So you want the A, B, and C story?
Please.
Okay, A story. I have two really dumb.
What would you do if I said no? No, I don't want the ABs.
Okay. All right.
All right. No, I would do want the ABs.
Okay, the A story. I have one good storyline title for the A story and one stupid one.
All right.
The good one is full 3-ring circle.
Yeah.
So full circle, but 3-ring, because of the circus. And then
Right.
my dumb one is glad he ate her.
Glad he ate her. Get it?
Yeah.
I like that one. I actually like that one better.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
All right,
It's
because
fun.
he's.
You know I love puns.
I know. He says he's going to go see Gladiator, and then they quote the movie over and over and over again. You know, are you not entertained? Which kind of got on my nerves, by the way.
That was Maximus he was quoting.
Right, right.
Russell Crowe's character.
Right. So,
Maximus.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Right.
And then, Laura, we must send our son to Earth. Oh, wait, that's a different movie.
No, totally different movie. Okay, and then the B story is Lash Point.
I see what you did there. Very clever.
I know it's the wrong comic, but hey, whatever.
That's all right. Creative license.
Same franchise.
Yep.
C
Same
story.
comic book company.
Right.
Right.
C story, Shipping Out.
Shipping Out.
And that is Cassidy.
Now, is that first class or second class?
No liquids.
Or the, yeah.
I said no liquids.
Or priority mail.
I love that not only the shipping guy was hilarious, but they also sell frozen yogurt,
right,
which gave him the opportunity to go into the store.
The Frogurt. Yeah.
I'll take these, and I gotta ship something.
I'm gonna take this and this and this.
Okay, nothing flammable, no weapons, and no liquids. And he says, okay, there's no liquids. He doesn't say anything about the other two things.
Right. All right, so full 3-ring circle.
And this / glad he ate her.
/ glad he ate her, which I love. This is obviously reference to Jesse. We get flashbacks to young Jesse, teenage Jesse, who gets to play ringmaster as he welcomes visitors to Fight Night in the Tombs.
Yep.
And go ahead.
One of the things that I found fascinating about these flashbacks is not only does it parallel the fact that he's doing this in the present day, it parallels that he is also protecting the woman he loves. He protects Ms. Boyd in the past, and he's trying to do the same thing for Tulip and also for Cassidy.
Right.
In the present day.
But he also has to try to appease Jody and TC.
And to a lesser extent, Grandma. Right.
Yeah. So he has to kind of like play both sides.
Right. And in playing both sides, he pushes away the people he loves.
Right. But he has good reasons behind it.
Right, because he wants them as far away from these evil people as possible. So not only does it mirror the actual tombs, the storyline mirrors itself in a much more subtle way. And I'm sure people got that, but I really enjoyed the fact that it did it. And I love that Tulip and I can't remember her first name. He says it, but it's so fleeting. I can't remember her first name.
Oh, you mean Madame Boyd?
Yeah, Madame Boyd.
Sabina.
Sabina, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love that Sabina is definitely a fill-in for Tulip because it's after Tulip.
Yeah, you're right, because there was young Tulip.
Yes.
So
she was Tulip from Texas.
So Sabina's like the rebound Tulip.
Sabina is the rebound Tulip.
But apparently Jesse has a type.
Very much so.
Right?
Yeah, but she's definitely a rebound girl. Right. And he loves her just as much, I think. It's just in a different way. And he just knows that he can't let anyone get mixed up in that life with Grandma and all that. And then he sees it like flashing again, and he knows what he has to do present day is it doesn't matter what I need to do, just get them out.
He almost has to make the same mistakes.
Right, exactly right.
So it's no matter what, he's stuck in this like cycle.
Right.
With his, because he's under Grandma's control.
Right. And even, Sabina's brother might even kind of mirror Cassidy a little bit.
See, that's the vibe I got, is that is that Sabina and her brother were essentially like the prototype for the adult trio of Jesse, Tulip, and Cassidy.
Right. I mean, he does chop up Cassidy to get him out of there.
Right.
So essentially,
now, obviously, nobody's like Cassidy. But...
No, but he essentially kills, and I'm putting air quotes around it, kills Cassidy to get him out.
Right.
So, I mean, there is somewhat of a parallel to get him out of the way.
Yeah. And unfortunately, because Sabina's, I keep wanting to call her Sabina because there's like a village, a little small village in Ohio called Sabina.
Sabina, yeah.
Yeah. Sabina, Ohio. So Sabina, because of her brother being killed, and because of Jesse's part in all this, she ends up hating Jesse.
Right.
As she gets older. And
he's the worst boy I ever loved.
Yeah, exactly. The worst person she ever loved. And now, turns out, though, she's not the worst person ever that she hates, because apparently she hates Grandma even more than Jesse.
Right.
Which is good for Jesse, I guess.
It's good for Jesse, and I think it's right. I mean, right. If she really knew what had gone on, I don't think she would hate Jesse nearly as much. I mean,
after all those years, you think she might have found out.
You would think, although I don't think that
somebody would have told her.
I don't think anyone wants to rat out anybody in that family. Right. So
maybe Jesse tried to tell her. I don't know, but yeah.
I don't think Jesse wants to tell her anything.
Yeah.
He would be the only one that would say anything. No one in that town is going to speak up against Jody or TC or Grandma.
No, especially back then when they were younger.
Right. And, a few years on, the Boyds aren't. I'm guessing even now the Boyds aren't. They don't have the same cachet as Grandma did.
But they do have more power.
More power, yes.
Now,
but I don't. Then. From what I see of like her shop and all that, it's more like a business, like a doctor. It's not like Grandma who you would go to and she would do voodoo and it's all like mysterious and so
it's very formal.
Right. I'm guessing that they're not afraid of Sabina like they were Grandma.
They just probably like respect her as the only game in town at the moment.
Right. Yeah. And she does what she says she does.
Yes.
So yeah, I really like Sabina. I'm hoping no bad comes to her, and I hope we see more of her.
Let's be honest. It's Preacher. It probably will.
It probably will. Although I kind of hope that she has a hand in hurting them because she kind of deserves to get something back, right?
I think it would be interesting if there was like a little love triangle going on between her and Jesse to kind of complicate that.
It would be square, right?
Well, yeah, you're right because it would
Cassidy?
go Sabina to Jesse to Tulip to Cassidy.
Right.
Right.
It would have to.
Or you would think Cassidy would be like, "Hey, back up Tulip here."
And Cassidy probably also has a type.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, apparently it's type O.
It's type
or
any.
AB positive.
Yeah, type any. Type red.
But I thought you had to admit that was pretty clever.
It was very good.
Thank you.
Type with a pulse. Yeah. I think he'd probably like her very much.
Right.
She's
well, she has that spirit like Tulip does.
Very much. So. I loved first of all.
Yeah.
We don't have to get into the whole storyline. All of our listeners have watched it, right?
Right.
Hopefully. But one of the things I really
except for Justina, we know she hasn't watched it.
One of the things I super enjoyed about this episode was the interchange between Sabina and Tulip in the car.
Yeah.
And Sabina just casually, "I love your nails." Like they're girlfriends, right?
Right.
And then they have this horrible conversation. And then Tulip says, she breaks really hard and she tells Sabina to get out because she can't take it anymore. And I'm thinking to myself, the first time I watched it, what is happening here? Because she can't take it anymore. And I didn't even think about it for a bit, right? And then she stops, and we get that slow motion of God going by on the motorcycle, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
And then later on, she's in bed with Jesse, and she goes,
Yeah, she wakes up.
"Your ex."
Yeah, it just hits her.
And then she runs outside and lets her out of the trunk of the car.
Right.
And I'm going, oh, that's what happened. She put her in the trunk of the car. Right. Because
we saw her get in.
We didn't.
I thought we did.
No, we didn't.
Oh, okay.
We just saw her stop and say, "Get out."
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. It's just her getting out of the trunk that I'm thinking. Okay.
Right. It was really funny that, I didn't put it together, and then I forgot. And then all of a sudden at the end of the episode, it was like, oh.
Oh, right.
It was so funny. I love when they do stuff like that.
Because everybody forgot about it. So,
right.
Now, one of the things I found interesting about that was that Tulip seems to be like wanting to reach out to other women.
Yeah.
Because she did that with Featherstone.
She wants girlfriends.
She wants a girl. I mean, she's hanging around with two dudes all day.
Right.
Especially guys like Jesse and Cassidy.
Yeah, they're alphas.
She's probably desperate for some like a female perspective.
Not just that, but Jesse and Cassidy, who are her friends, but then she gets taken to this place, and the only two other people besides Grandma, who she is definitely not going to hang out with,
right,
are Jody and TC.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
So she goes into town and she meets this Madame Boyd, and she seems to be a person that she could connect with, and now, no.
It's like, well, hey, you can help me with my problem? Great.
Right.
Yeah.
And not so much.
Yeah.
It just happens that... Yeah. I was going to do the Prices Right noise, but I do think that they would be kindred spirits, to be honest. I really do.
All right, so let's move on.
Last Point.
Because we got 4 shows this week. We got to keep moving.
I know.
Last point. Yeah.
All right. Saint of Killers is back.
Yes. So we start off the episode with the Saint of Killers being escorted from his room and taken to meet with the devil.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, gay. Oh, Saddam.
Hey, hi, buddy.
Hey, gay. Come on, gay.
Come on, gay.
I'm just fooling.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I can change. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. In case you're wondering where I'm getting that from. All right. So
can I just mention one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Satan was played by Jason Douglas.
Okay.
He played Tobin in The Walking Dead.
Oh. Tobin's spirit guide.
That's right. Tobin. Just Tobin.
Just worked at the Ghostbusters reference there.
And thank you. Yep. And if you want the connection back around to
comes full circle.
Breaking Bad.
Oh.
He played Detective Munn in Breaking Bad.
And of course, both shows, both Preacher and Breaking Bad, produced by Sam Callan.
Correct.
So I see what you did there. All right. So Devil, it turns out, does not appreciate having souls get out of hell free.
Right. Including Saint of Killers.
Right. So first he decides to punish the Saint of Killers by slapping some chains or impaling him with some chains.
That was awesome.
Yep. And then the Angel of Death, who is just a petite wee thing, played by an actress named Erin Ruth, goes about whipping him. Whipping good.
Now, I'm kind of upset that she wasn't a goth.
When a Saint of Killers comes along, you must whip him.
Because
whip him good.
Aren't we supposed to be in the same universe?
I guess.
I know.
I guess, but doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Maybe they could take on different forms.
Sure. Okay.
You go with that. Let's roll with that.
All right.
So apparently, like, she flays his back, and to the bone.
Yeah, because we did get a view.
We did get the back view of his back, after she finishes.
And it was...
He's like, put on his shirt. Go ahead and put on your shirt or whatever.
It was gone.
It was basically like, okay, if I left out like a KFC chicken breast for my cat to eat.
That's what it would look like.
Basically, it would have like a big chunk in the middle missing.
Right.
Because my cat will have devoured that.
Right.
That's basically what it looked like.
Yes.
Is that a good analogy?
That's exactly what it looked like.
Right.
I knew something was coming when the devil asked to take the duster.
Right.
Because...
It's like, you don't take the Saint of Killers duster.
No. Yeah, and I like that he said, what's bad for me is bad.
Right.
He was joking around. He's like, what's bad for me? It's just bad.
Right.
And then, of course, the Saint of Killers says, he wants his guns back in his grunty language. And the devil says, no, I'm sorry. I can't have you up there killing sheriffs and shooting up hotels. So maybe if you can get me back the two that left, and of course we're referring to Eugene and Hitler, then he can have his guns back and he can kill all the preachers he wants. And of course, really, all he wants to do is kill one preacher. Right?
Yes,
Just
exactly.
the
Only
one.
one in mind, yeah. But,
Right.
well, remember, he does have a thing against
He hates preachers, yes.
He hates preachers, but he especially hates Jesse.
Jesse, correct. Yes. He doesn't want to see Jesse at all live, breathing, any part of that. Now, why does Satan want Eugene back, is my question.
That's
because
a good question.
Eugene knows what goes on there?
I think it's just the idea that he's like, okay, nobody escapes hell.
Okay.
Like, I have like a perfect record here.
So once you're there, you're there.
And Eugene and Hitler are screwing up my perfect record.
Okay.
So otherwise, everybody's going to see that there's a chance to get out of hell.
Right. And
so
it's interesting that he knows God is gone.
Right.
Because...
Well, probably because Twitter. Right.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. Or Instagram. One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And
Donald Trump tweeted in all caps that God was gone from heaven.
He has to be, because there's no other explanation for the last 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he says he's got big plans. So yeah, and boy, those scenes with the Saint of Killers were just delicious. I love those.
Yeah, they were.
And then shipping out, and we did mention a bit about this. Jesse's trying to get Cassidy out of Angelville, Longueville, as it really is, but Angelville. And he tries to ship him in a container. I love that Cassidy says you could put him in a skin suit.
Yeah.
And then later on, he actually does that.
Yeah, he does. And you notice who he got. He got that pedophile
vice principal.
Yeah, that vice principal that was left out there, the pedophile. So,
he's a recurring character this season, apparently.
Well, not anymore.
No, not anymore. Well, he was in the last episode, too. Right. With
unless
the face.
He recurs as a skin suit.
As a face.
Yeah. He basically did a Hannibal Lecter move.
Right.
To disguise himself, which, respect for that.
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, I love he shows up at the side of the car with the patch on, like, the vice principal, and then he just pulls the face off.
Right.
It made me laugh a lot. And he goes, flesh suit works every time. I love it. So yeah, then Tulip drops him off, and it was very poignant when he says, I love you, and she says, but I don't love you.
And that is right there. She finally comes right out and has to, like, declare this.
Yeah.
And there was a bit before Cassidy leaves her because she wants to put him on a bus to New Orleans.
Right.
So if you notice, now he had that love potion.
Yeah, he tried to get it out.
And he no, he pulled it out and he kind of contemplated it. He looked down at it and he's just like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So
I can't do it against her will.
Thankfully, he did the right thing.
Now, that sets him a little apart from Jesse, because Jesse has used Genesis.
Right, but I think I chalk that up more to power tripping.
I know, but
agree,
he's still...
I agree, but then she told him not to, and he stopped.
Right.
But then he lost his powers.
Yeah, right. He kind of lost his powers.
So we'll see if that happens.
There is a bit of a temptation there, though. And
hopefully he gets his powers back, because I'm waiting for him to get his powers back.
Yeah, I hope he does.
That needs to be come back.
It does, yeah. So yeah, those were the main storylines.
So yeah, they shipped him off and chopped his body parts up and put him in a cardboard box and shipped him off. And...
I said no liquids.
Yep, that was great. Too funny.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, I really loved this episode.
It was good. So is there anything else you think we missed?
I just wanted to ask you how one of the things you were mentioning at the beginning of the season was that you weren't quite sure about how Jody and TC were gonna do in live form.
They are closer to what I expect. They're not quite there yet, but they're close.
I like that Jody...
I think progress was made in this episode.
Right. I like that Jody is really taking on the people down in the tombs.
Yeah. And it'll get a little closer because I watched Sunday's episode.
I did too.
So, all right. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
And we'll talk about that next time.
On the Phantom Zone.
The Phantom Zone.
That's right.
But for right now, what's your rating for this?
I give it 9 unused vials.
All right.
That's the love potion.
Yep. And I give it, of course, 9 severed vampire body parts in a cardboard box.
Nice.
So
I said no liquids.
Cardboard shipping box, I should say.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Moving on.
Moving on to Cloak and Dagger 108.
Ghost Stories. We're almost done with Cloak and Dagger.
I know. We only have 2 more after this.
And
it's like that.
I'm glad they renewed it. This was news this week.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, we did get the news that Cloak and Dagger was renewed for season 2, so that's awesome.
Right.
Which makes, as you said, perfect sense because this is the only show that Freeform is probably getting any kind of buzz on whatsoever.
Right.
So.
And it's a good thing because we haven't gotten very far into their stories.
Because they're taking it so slow.
Ooh, slow. Now, it's a great story.
But get on with it.
Yeah, that's what I have to say.
So, come on. At least in this episode, Cloak finally uses his cloak.
Big time.
So, progress, at least.
Yeah.
Very slow progress.
She uses her dagger all over the place, but she doesn't do much with it.
Right. And they don't use it together. So, but now he finally, it's like, the show's called Cloak and Dagger. You might want to put on the cloak once in a while.
Right.
So, yeah.
Or at all.
Right. So here, he finally puts it on.
Right. And uses it.
And
successfully.
uses it to basically scare the crap out of Shady Cop.
Connors,
thank you.
Okay, so it's 108 Ghost Stories.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Written by Christine Boylan and Jenny Klein, directed by Alex Garcia Lopez.
Alrighty. A story, all are today's.
Yeah.
And that is because all of them had a day, marking that day. B story, Take the Money and Run, which is Tandy's storyline. And then Tyrone's storyline is Matching Bracelets.
Right.
And then the C story, Fridge Flip.
Yes. So, yeah, because and Gail Simone might want to take note of this particular topic because...
It still stinks.
All right, so should we talk about that first?
Yeah, let's do.
Okay.
Because O'Reilly.
Yeah, so O'Reilly, poor O'Reilly. Okay. We see her, she's been kind of flirting with this uniformed police officer.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, she's his senior. She's really not supposed to be doing that.
Sure. But he seems like a good match for her,
he seems like a good match. I mean, they eat pancakes together. Pancakes.
Mm.
And, just he's concerned that the fact of her kind of trying to cozy up to Connors to kind of screw him over and catch him in the act of something.
Mm-hmm.
But
But he's
what
all
happens?
in, which I liked.
Yeah, so turns out by the end of the episode,
Yeah.
So so he ends up literally fridged.
Right.
And to kind of recap what I talked about last week, because remember, we just talked about this last
We
week.
literally just talked about this.
And sure enough, boom, something happens like that.
I know.
And so it's like they literally fridged a character. And by that, I'm referring to the story that played out, and I believe it was like, I want to say Green Lantern Volume 3, number 55 or 54, somewhere there, where Kyle Rayner, who has just become the Green Lantern after taking over from Hal Jordan, his girlfriend Alex was murdered by a supervillain named Major Force and literally stuffed into a refrigerator, and just for pure shock value.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people since this story came out, particularly Gail Simone, who came up with a column called Women in Refrigerators, found this obviously very appalling, that the idea of using a woman as just a cheap shock value to motivate the male hero is very exploitive.
Pretty much Bechdel inverted.
Right. It's the opposite of the Bechdel test.
Right.
Yeah. So Ron Mars, again, shame on you for doing
Green
this.
Lantern 54, is that what you said?
I said 54 or 55. Yeah. So, but it's 54?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Thanks. So, yeah. An otherwise great issue marred by this rather cheap attempted shock value. So, it kind of became a thing that, just the term fridging means that a character would be killed off as just pure shock value.
Right.
So here in Cloak and Dagger, we actually have a character literally being fridged because poor O'Reilly, her boyfriend, who seemed like a really nice guy until presumably O'Reilly tried to, catch Connors in the act. He probably has some friends.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure.
And they probably murdered him and stuffed his corpse in her fridge.
Right.
So she comes home, opens up the fridge door, and like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
How horrible.
Right.
And I can't believe I was just like aghast that they actually did this.
I was too.
I was just, my jaw dropped. I'm like, they literally fridged a character on Cloak and Dagger.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
I don't either. What would possess someone to write that?
The only thing I can think of is like, well, it's okay if it's a guy.
It's not okay, period.
And this was a women writer,
Yeah.
Christine Boylan, again, and Jenny Klein, two
It's
women
not okay
writers.
to take... Well, I mean, was it a vindictive sort of thing?
That's what I'm wondering.
Do it?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because
it's like,
even that's not right.
Right. It's basically just two wrongs don't make a right.
Right.
Ladies.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So, so basically they figure, well, hey, let's see how the men like it.
Yeah, I don't like it. And I'm not a man.
Yeah.
So I don't like it.
Last time we checked, yes.
Yeah. You didn't check, but I checked.
Well, no.
I'm not a man.
That's true.
I just didn't want anyone to infer that.
No. I don't think anybody that knows you would think that.
I'm a chickie. I am. I was not pleased with that at all. I don't care that they killed him because it does make a point.
Right.
But the whole fridging thing, I was just so unpleased by that.
Appalled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm tempted to get downgrade just because now
I downgraded it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to downgrade here.
Okay. That's why I gave it the grade I gave it.
Yeah, I'm going to downgrade a half point here at least. There we go.
That was the only reason why
Downgraded.
I gave it the grade I did. So now we match.
Yeah, exactly. And we're synced.
Yeah. Okay, so,
all right. So
let's talk about all our todays.
Right.
We'll get off the fridge thing.
Yeah, it's just frustrating.
So this was apparently the anniversary of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently everything happened on this day.
Well, it did.
Of this episode. Well, yeah, because we had the rig explosion, which killed, caused the car wreck that killed Tandy's father.
Right.
And we had Tyrone's brother being shot.
Right. Which we know happened on the same day.
Right.
And of course, Connor's shooting him, which was the same incident.
Exactly.
Right.
So as a result of this,
and Ivan.
Oh yeah.
They went to see Ivan too.
Right, and Ivan entered a coma. Ended up in a coma because of that rig explosion.
Correct.
Because he was the only survivor.
Right.
You're right. So all this stuff went down, and it's kind of interesting the way the two, both Tandy and Tyrone, are dealing with this day, because Tandy, she goes to see her mom. So we finally get to see her mom again. It's been a while.
Right.
And apparently her mom has gotten her act together.
Well, for this day.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it was for this day.
Right. But at least for the moment, she's got her act together.
Right.
She cleaned up. She cleaned the place up. Because, damn. And, they talk about, like, doing something as a tribute.
Right.
And Tandy says, well, I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So the next day, she goes to see Tyrone, who's having breakfast with his parents, and they're not talking about it at all. It's this incredibly awkward breakfast where nobody really wants to talk about how they feel.
Yeah.
And maybe Tyrone does, but he's afraid to because his parents have completely emotionally shut down.
He totally wanted to talk about something.
Right.
Do you remember that SNL sketch? And it's like Will, what's his name? The curly-headed cowbell dude.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, the Will Ferrell era, where they sit around and they just like cut things on plates, but it's just like the sound of plates and knives and forks being cut.
No, I don't remember
for like
that.
A minute or two, and then I'm like, I wanted to know if you were gonna, and then someone interrupts. And they go, no, I told you before, no. And then they go back to the cutting on the plates, and it's just squeak, 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 squeak on the plate. Yeah, they did it 3 or 4 times on SNL, and it makes me laugh every time. But when I saw this breakfast, I was like, oh, it's that SNL sketch.
Right.
Because that's what it seemed to be the whole time.
That makes perfect sense that you would get that. Yeah,
yeah.
I get it now. So Tandy shows up.
Which was awesome, I thought.
Which was awesome because she like, hey, how you doing? She's flirting with Tyrone again. If
a
you
little
notice.
bit, yeah.
Yeah, and
parents love me.
Yep, yeah, exactly. So Tyrone just kind of like, what are you doing here? You can't be here. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, hey, can I meet your parents and all this? Mm-hmm. Now,
I've never brought a girl home before.
Right.
Which I thought was interesting.
Right, it is true. Considering, because that's right. They don't know about what's her name?
Evita,
thank you. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you remembered this time.
I know, right?
Points.
I hammered it into my head.
You did. Hopefully it didn't hurt.
No.
So Tandy gets introduced to Tyrone's parents, who generally politely receptive to her. And then we find out as Tandy's walking out the door that apparently she had an ulterior motive because Tandy.
Yep.
And what happens? She stole her Tyrone's mom's Roxxon ID badge.
That's right.
So Tandy shakes fists.
But also, she kind of woke them up a little because she mentioned the day.
Right. She made them confront it.
That's right.
Right, you're right.
So I'm okay with her stealing the badge.
Okay.
I really am.
So you don't think it was just pure selfish motive?
Oh, no, I think it was pure selfish motive. I don't think she knew that they weren't confronting the day.
So do you think she cares about Tyrone?
Oh, I do think she cares about Tyrone. I do. But I also think that she went there for the badge.
Right. So that, like, her main reason was for the badge, but I can flirt with Tyrone and I can kind of get to understand who his parents are.
Sure.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, and the fact that she kind of woke them up, I'm okay with it. If that's a side effect of her getting the badge, and you know what, Roxanne deserves it.
Right.
You know, I'm not one to say, you know, 2 wrongs make a right. Really.
Well, knowing what we know about Roxanne from Marvel Comics, yes, they deserve it.
They do. So, I mean, she's not exactly the worst person for doing that.
No, not really.
Yeah. Okay. So she takes the badge. She breaks in, and she does a lot of mischief in the building. And she, what does she do? She doesn't take anything there because she already has the memo, right?
She got the memo. Did you get the memo?
Does she plant the memo?
Trying to remember. I think she was looking for the memo.
No, she has a memo in the safety deposit box.
Right. Well, you know, while she was there at Roxanne, she tracked down that Scarborough guy.
Right. I think she just happened upon him. I think she was there for another reason.
You don't think she was looking for him? I thought she was looking for him.
Mm-mm. I think she was there to do something.
Because she holds a dagger to his neck to get a confession. She ties him up.
I know she does.
So, yeah. Nope, that's for a different reason.
Yeah.
But, bondage. James Bondage.
James Bondage. Yeah, I think she was doing something with the memo. Anyway.
What she was using the memo to kind of torment Scarborough because she's going, hey, look, I've got some dirt on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the memo.
Yeah.
And as a result, did you get the memo?
Yeah, and
therefore, you guys are screwed.
He admitted to everything, which, you know, he doesn't have a lot to lose at that point because...
Well, yeah, he was first defiant, and then Tandy's like holds a light dagger up to his face.
Right.
And then he kind of changes his tune rather quickly. Yeah.
And she laid it all out.
Right.
I mean, she said that she knew about the water bottle girl killing Greg, and I mean, she said everything. And
now Scarborough does hint that, oh, you think your dad was just a perfect guy, right?
Yeah, you don't know who your dad really was.
Right.
And she, of course, she blows that off.
Yeah, because she's like, no, I know my dad.
Right. Well, yeah, but that's right then. She doesn't say that. She just says, you know.
No, I know, but
yeah,
as we know.
As we know, yeah. So yeah, she says, okay, you know, I'm gonna let this all go.
We should say that Scarborough offered her money to let it go.
Right.
And she at first is like, no, I don't want your money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys are going down.
Right. So she leaves him tied up and then slices through one of the building supports.
Right.
On the way out.
Right. She just kind of uses the dagger. Walks right through like she cut through like a
steel bar,
a paper wall.
Yeah.
You know, Japanese paper wall.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It was super cool, I thought.
Yeah.
And he gets away because she doesn't mean for him to stay there. She knows he's going to get away. All she wanted to do was taunt him with the fact that she knows all this information.
Yeah, so, at that point she and this is kind of where we go into take the money and run.
Right.
Because, well, first Tyrone and Tandy meet up near the waterfront. Mm-hmm. And Tyrone is excited because he got a confession out of Connors.
Right, which we can go back and talk about in a minute.
Yeah, we can talk about that. You want to talk about that now?
No, we can go back and talk about it in a minute.
Okay. So real quick. So he wasn't happy that Tandy wasn't able to get a confession out of Scarborough, but he's relieved that she scared the crap out of him.
Right.
So, and then they touch hands, and then they're transported to another vision where they see Tandy's old front door in the middle of the woods.
Right.
They walk into the door, and then Tandy asks Ty whether it's a fear or a memory.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyrone thinks that, well, it might be a little of both. Little column A, little column B.
Right. Little column A, little column B.
So they enter an auditorium, and then, like, slides of Tandy's parents flash on the screen.
It's a movie theater. It's where her parents met.
Yeah.
And her mother's watching the screen, and then the movie flickers and her mother's gone.
Right.
And she slices through the movie screen and goes in back of it, and it's a different scene. Instead of her mother serving coffee and kissing her father on the cheek and having a lovely morning, it's her mother bringing him coffee and spilling it, and then her father backhanding her.
Yep. Back slap. It's
Right.
like, bitch slap. Boom, whack.
Right. And then...
So totally not cool. So Tandy is horrified because she's never seen her father do something like that.
Right. And they break hands on the beach.
Right.
And they let the ceremonial little lantern go,
Yeah.
which is they do this little like a balloon thing.
Yeah, it was like the thing that Tandy and her mom do as a memorial way to remember their, her father, that they
Right.
Let this like paper lantern go up into the sky.
It's usually a balloon because they were
Oh,
talking
balloon.
about a latex.
Oh, that's right.
balloon.
Yeah, it was a balloon. You're right. You're right.
But her mother got a paper lantern this year, which I thought was kind of cool.
Right.
Because Disney, Marvel,
Oh, yeah.
Tangled.
Right. Yep. It's all connected.
It is. So they let a paper lantern go. And as they let that go, she's looking at her mother with a new light. And the next scene, we see her calling Scarborough and saying, hey, you know what? I'll take the money.
Right.
And then we see her...
Go on, take the money and run.
Right. Putting the money into a hollowed out statue in the empty church.
Right.
And then...
Yeah, like it's this big cookie jar that she can put stuff in.
a huge cookie jar.
Right.
I'll take that cookie jar.
Oh, so many cookies.
So many yummy cookies.
Cookies. Nom, nom.
And matching bracelets. Tyrone has a totally different experience, although
Yeah.
it doesn't end nice for O'Reilly. It ends well for Tyrone.
Right. So Tyrone puts on Billy's cloak, the one he's been kind of like helping fix up as a tribute to his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And this, of course, is after his dad was like crying all over the cloak because his dad still has issues.
And they're not letting them out, so...
Right. So he puts on the cloak and decides, he comes up with this plan, like, hey, it'll be like Scooby-Doo where I can put on this cloak and scare Connors and freak him out because I'll just teleport all around the place.
It's a dead rat and 2 toothpicks.
I would have gotten away with it if you weren't for you meddling cloaks and daggers.
What? Yeah. Yeah, and he outs himself to O'Reilly and her boyfriend, as having this power.
Right.
Which I thought was awesome.
Although Connor's just like, wait, what just happened?
I'm assuming he still thinks it's a weird ghost, right?
Right. But essentially Tyrone pretends to be Billy.
Right.
And like he came back from the dead and he's haunting Connors.
Mm-hmm. And he pops around and
right, like a ghost.
Right.
Yeah.
And pretends he puts blood on a shirt and uses the cloak to
like, you killed me.
And gets him to admit on tape.
Right.
While O'Reilly's boyfriend, whose name I really don't have to remember because he's already dead.
Yeah, and I don't even think they gave him one.
They did. He has a name.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Well, they never used it much. That's for sure. Don't worry about it. He's dead.
Yeah, it's on here.
Let's move on. R.I.P.
So anyway,
unnamed boyfriend in the fridge.
R.I.P. boyfriend. Yeah.
Fridge boyfriend.
Fridge boyfriend. Cold boyfriend.
Boyfriend on ice.
I'm just gonna call him Cold Storage.
Okay.
First name Cold, last name Storage.
Right.
Yeah, so he records it all on tape, and Tyrone says, "Did you get that?" And he comes out of the shadows and says, "Yep." And they put the handcuffs on him, and off he goes. And he's like, "Why I oughta?"
Yeah.
Why I oughta? He shakes his fist with his hands behind him.
Yeah.
Right. And they take him off to jail, and then, of course, he rats out.
Yeah, and
Cold.
then, of course, O'Reilly's all kind of like, yeah, we got that guy, everything's great, and then she goes home and opens the fridge.
Right. Well, she thinks her boyfriend is making dinner because all the ingredients are out on the table.
Honey,
but
I'm home.
really, it's just to make room in the fridge.
Right. Yep. Well, you know, the body parts. Yeah, corpses kind of take up room. You have to kind of make some room for that.
So stupid.
Yeah, move the guacamole.
Fuchs.
Yep.
His name is Fuchs. That's what his name is, Fuchs.
Fuchs. Okay. Well, he should be killed just for having that horrible name.
I agree.
Okay. So we're in agreement then. All right. So what's your rating for the? Is that it?
Yep.
What's your rating?
It would have been 8.5.
Yeah, it would have been 8.5 for me, but because of
the fridge.
Just talking about it, just kind of like maybe want to downgrade
it makes me want to poke my eyes out.
8 fridged boyfriends now.
I give it 8 paper lanterns.
So we're in sync now in this one.
We certainly
I was going to be generous because the Tyrone stuff was actually pretty cool.
It was great. The whole rest of the episode was good.
But marred by that horribly,
just gratuitously...
Yes.
Terrible ending.
Yeah, Christine Boylan and what's her?
Shame on you.
And Jenny Klein. Shame on both of you.
Shame on both of you. Okay.
All right. Shame.
Luke Cage.
Shame. We need to get that Game of Thrones shame soundbite.
Shame.
All right. Shame. Luke Cage, 205. All sold out. Written by Ian Stokes and directed by Casey Lemons.
Alrighty.
And that's Casey with a Kasi.
Okay. Millennial?
So, I'm guessing.
Probably. I know, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so A story, hero worship.
Well, you blame the parents on that one, probably.
Okay, hero worship.
So hero worship.
Yep, that's my Piranha storyline.
Okay.
B story, Shark Week.
See, I would think Shark Week would be the Piranha storyline.
No, this is him getting presented with opportunities to earn money.
Because the Piranha was kind of a shark, sort of. I know it's mixing animals, but...
No, he was presented with an opportunity to wrestle shark, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was too. Yeah,
so was the Shark Week?
Yeah.
Get it?
Okay, I got it. Okay.
And that's him having to earn money.
Yep.
And then C story. Iron Arm of the Law.
I am Iron Arm.
Yeah. I am Iron Arm. Yeah. And the last one, Opening with a Bang. That's just Mariah.
Right.
Let's talk about Mariah.
All right, let's do.
Because, boy.
So, all right. So we pick up that Mariah is like showing off her new clinic.
She goes to talk to her daughter.
Tilda.
Right. And she says, hey, if you'll come to my opening, I'll give you this nice cushy seat on the board.
Right. And Mariah's talking about this like opening for like the entire episode. She's just all can't wait. Okay, everybody come to my opening. You be sure to come.
This is how it's going to get her to look
Best
legit.
Opening ever.
It's going to be huge.
Huge this opening.
Yep.
You'll be tired of this opening. It'd be so great.
Huge.
So much opening.
So bigly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she wants her daughter there because her daughter has done so much good stuff.
Yeah.
That her daughter's going to make her look good. Really. I mean, she's totally using her daughter.
Yeah.
And we've seen this already a couple times.
I'd like to think her daughter would be smart enough to pick up on that, but
I think she already is.
She's starting to, I think. Yeah. She's getting
I think she already is.
Yeah.
I think she's waiting to see what Mariah is going to do.
So, just to make a long story short, what happens at the end of the episode is that Mariah is all there for the ceremony, the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Live. Yeah.
We're gonna do it live.
That's right.
And she's opening this new family center / clinic. Tilda shows up, so she does make it.
Of course she
does. Mariah opens the door, and what does she find behind door number 1, Johnny?
Heads.
Heads, 3 heads
That's right.
on pikes. You know, kind of like on Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. Like
Speaking of
Sean
the-
Bean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she got the Ned. They got the Ned Stark treatment,
Yep, they sure did.
and turns out those heads belong to Mark Higgins, Cockroach,
Mm-hmm.
which probably solves Luke's lawsuit problem.
Yep.
Rather conveniently, and Ray Ray.
And Ray Ray. Yep.
So yeah,
I love that she actually says to her daughter, "I ain't frontin', T." And it
That's
just
right. She does.
it does not sound right coming out of her mouth. It sounds about as right as it did when I just said it.
Yeah.
I ain't frontin', T.
Yeah, it does. Alfre Woodard, she's a great actress.
And I think she's supposed to sound ingenuine, right?
Well, no, I think I'll tell you why. All right. I loved her in First Contact, so I know she can act just fine.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
She's amazing. But remember, Mariah is drunk all the time.
Right.
So she's probably like, I ain't frontin', T. You know, like half slurring.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So that's that's my guess.
Alfre Woodard should not be saying, "I ain't
No.
frontin'."
It does seem rather ghetto of her to be
Yeah, it
thinking
does.
this way.
Yeah. I ain't frontin'.
Right.
You know, I should not say
It does
that.
seem weird because we know Alfre Woodard could be far more eloquent than this.
Correct.
So
I should not say legit.
yeah,
Nor should I
Well,
say I ain't frontin'.
unless you're saying too legit to quit,
No.
because MC Hammer.
I should not say that.
It's Hammer time.
Stop.
Okay. Everybody stop. Hammer time.
Da-na, da-na.
Yes, I'm doing the sideways shuffle here.
Yeah, he is. I'm not, however.
Uh-oh. 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 Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh,
Uh-oh.
oh, 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 oh.
Yep. Anyway.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry. I love that song.
I do too.
It's on my iPod.
Do I still have it on here?
That's all right.
You can't touch this.
There you go.
Why? It makes me sing.
I don't know why I did it. I
Yeah.
knew you were just going to start up again.
Sorry.
We're trying to hurry this along.
You're poking the bear.
I know.
All right, let's move on. All right. So that's pretty much that.
Yeah, okay, and it's live, so it's all over the news later
Yeah,
in the episode.
So Mariah is just horrified that, and obviously the news media is just going to be all over this.
Mhm.
So her big contribution to society has just been ruined,
Right.
thanks to Bushmaster,
Mm-hmm.
or as he likes to pronounce it, Bushmaster.
Bushmaster.
Yeah. And that rather exaggerated Jamaican accent.
Ain't frontin' T.
Yeah, exactly, right? For someone who wasn't going to say it, you're sure saying it a lot.
I'm saying it facetiously now.
I know you are.
Ah.
All right, so let's talk about something else. What are we talking about? Hero worship?
Sure.
Okay, hero worship.
Okay,
So
I laughed through this whole storyline.
so Piranha, as in the really,
He's a huckster.
he's a hustler and a huckster. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the investment guy that keeps trying to get Mariah to invest in all this stupid stuff.
Yep.
Like he's this big financial wizard.
Quote
Okay.
unquote wizard.
Well, apparently he's made enough money that he could buy up Luke Cage souvenirs off the interwebs,
Luke Cage
off eBay.
souvenirs.
Souvenirs, yeah, because it's funny because they bring Luke in and he's showing him around. He's got all these trophies, like this trophy room.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is like his Luke's jumpsuit from the prison. And Luke is just like, like our prison jumpsuits were orange,
Right.
so not yellow. So,
you got ripped off.
you got kind of ripped off there.
Right. And he says, but good news,
Right.
if you get nabbed and
Right.
go to prison, you can get one for free.
Exactly. I'm sure they'll have plenty there. Yes.
Right.
So, and the reason Luke's there, and this kind of ties in with Shark Week.
Mm-hmm.
May as
It
well
does, yeah.
The reason he's there is because Luke needs money because Luke was stupid and attacked Cockroach. And
Way
now,
back in the second episode.
yeah, like in his home.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, Cockroach feels, well, I was just defending myself.
Right. So Foggy is trying to help him find a way to make, what is it, $100,000?
Make it go away. So yeah, so basically, Foggy shows him this number that he had discussed with Cockroach's attorney.
Right.
And apparently they came up with this number, $100,000, to make it all go away.
Right.
Luke, surprise, doesn't have $100,000 just lying around.
Because he's not one of those guys.
And he's too principled to go ask Danny for it, even though Danny has like a ton of money.
Right. And he wouldn't miss $100,000.
No, apparently not.
And he would give it away.
But Lucas is like, this is my problem. I got myself into this. I can get myself out.
Right.
So kudos for taking responsibility for your actions.
Right.
But, after a few little additions to the swear jar, he finally decides to, because we have to return to the swear jar this episode.
Yeah, we do.
So he ends up agreeing to, like, okay, Piranha is offering me this money to make an appearance at this party, and he says that, that will take care of the situation.
Right. And he has to wear this hoodie and show up, and he's not
I was hoping it was going to be like the yellow silk shirt with the tiara from the comics.
I was hoping so, too.
Not so much. I was like, you missed a chance there.
I know, but I was cringing the whole time because Piranha's leading him around, and he goes, "Oh, you got to put the hood up because that's iconic."
Yeah. That's what I was like,
oh,
I don't see why Luke would have a problem. It's like, dude, it's just a hoodie, just what's the big deal?
Because he's being paraded around.
He doesn't like, and yeah, you're right. Luke doesn't like being told what to do. Right. Luke is I'm in control of my life. I'm not going to do what you tell me. I'm not going to put on a suit just because you tell me to.
Right. And people are taking selfies with him, and then someone hits him over the head with a bottle.
Right. And because it was like a couple of bros.
Yeah.
That like, oh man, I can't believe you did that. Oh.
Right. And so he lifts the one up by the neck.
Right.
And the other one's like filming it. Right. And he finally lets the one go. And the guy's like, oh man, did you see that? Did you get that on tape?
Yeah.
And he can't take it anymore, so he has to leave.
Now one thing I did like, there was a great contrast with the selfies. Mm-hmm. There was this one woman who is just young teenager or something. She was kind of shy, and she's just like, "Do you mind if I take your picture, or get a picture with you?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, he kind of looks grudgingly at her, and then he's like, "Okay."
Yeah, I know.
And he agrees to the picture.
That was cute.
Then this other woman kind of swoops in out of nowhere, like a selfie ninja.
Right.
And he just kind of like shoves her away, like, nope.
Yeah. And she tries to drape herself all over him.
Right. And he's just like, not having that. Walks off.
Right.
Walks away.
And then before he can leave this, they try and kidnap Piranha.
Right. Well, because some hired goons show up. Hired goons. And, they start opening fire. Now, this is, there was a moment where Luke gets brought up on stage, and Piranha pulls out a gun, and he's just like, hey, let's see how bulletproof you are to show everybody. And Luke is just like, you idiot. It will ricochet off my body and hurt somebody.
Right.
Piranha does not give an F.
Nope, he doesn't care.
He's ready to open fire. He's just about to open fire when all of a sudden the hired goons show up and open fire, and Luke rushes off to save the day.
Right.
And get everybody out of there.
And I love Cockroach is just, he is, what is the guy's name from the old Lost in Space? Don't hurt me.
You mean Dr. Smith?
Yes, he's Dr. Smith.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, don't hurt me.
Oh, the pain. Don't hurt me. Right. Yeah.
And he's like, he is.
Come along, you robotic knee.
He's just the biggest coward ever.
That's Dr. Smith.
But every time they stop and it seems like they're out of danger.
The original Dr. Smith, I might add. The current by Parker Posey Dr. Smith is completely different.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean the original.
Yeah.
From the original.
We just have to clarify that now because...
I know, because there's a new one.
There's a new one.
I meant the original.
It's actually really good.
I like Parker Posey in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just she's nowhere near the old Dr. Smith.
It's not...
She's not a coward.
Different character, yeah. No.
Right.
She's just conniving.
But the old Dr. Smith, played by Ray Hand? No. Mr. Hand.
No.
Ray...
No. Jonathan Harris.
Jonathan Harris, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so played by Jonathan Harris. So, he's like that when he's scared, but then when they stop, he is completely scandalized. How could they shoot at me?
Yes.
I could have protected myself.
I didn't even think of that Dr. Smith connection. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, isn't he?
That's a great comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
all easily.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
He really is. And using Luke.
Yes, manipulative. Yeah.
Right. Using Luke. And then, of course, what does he do? Heroes for hire.
Right.
Heroes.
Hey, that's catchy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So maybe this put a thought into Luke's head about hey, I got to get paid.
Yeah, they actually dropped those words.
Right.
In this episode. I think this is the second time they've said it, too.
Yeah. Obviously, they're setting it up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And, Iron Fist is in a later episode this season.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
And they've dropped his name a couple times, too.
Yes, they have. Because, that's our C story. See how I segued into that?
That's right. Rand Industries, Iron Arm of the Law.
Because guess who's got a new bionic arm?
That's right.
Misty Knight.
She sure does.
The bionic Misty.
Yeah. I'm assuming she's at Rand Industries for part of that, where she's learning.
It happens between episodes. That somewhere between the end of last episode and this episode, she got her bionic arm.
Right.
And we see her. We open with her. First time we see her in this episode, she's kind of like doing like trying to hold stuff like a glass and stuff.
Dexterity things.
And apparently, it's to get the arm programmed, the right settings. Kind of like when you get a new printer and you have to align the printer. Calibrate it. Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So yeah, you're calibrating the printer. Well, you have to calibrate the arm apparently.
Right. And it is awesome looking.
Yeah, so it looks all badass and now it's a little kind of like big, but I'm guessing that eventually we'll get a more refined version. It's the prototype.
It's because it goes over her real arm.
I understand that, but I mean, you could get like a more like less cumbersome, more sheen.
Sure.
I want to say,
well, they could get a pressurized glove that can press on her a little bit.
More slender arm, I should say. Yeah. But for right now, yeah, it's a little like RoboCop-ish a little bit. And she's kind of getting used to it, figuring out like, okay, I can hold stuff. Now she still keeps trying to like do her normal stuff with her regular hand.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not quite
She's
there.
not used to it yet. No.
Yeah. But she's getting there. At least it's like, hey, I've got a hand.
I told you it wouldn't be long before you saw it.
Yeah.
It's very
So
cool.
are we caught up now?
Nope. I've seen 2 more episodes.
Oh, look at you. All right.
I didn't know how long it was until
that's cool.
Until I saw this one.
Yep. All right. So that's cool. So she got her bionic arm, and I think that's basically Misty's story in this episode.
I know something about Piranha that happens in 2 episodes.
Okay.
That's how I'm marking it. And then I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, she did. Now I guess there was she does kind of have flashbacks about her and Scarf.
Yeah, those happen
and,
throughout the season, though.
Yeah, like because she finds this bottle of booze in her desk, and she's like kind of thinking back, going, "Oh yeah, like there was this time when we went to like evidence and took one of the Judas bullets and put it in her pocket and all this. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And there was that one time when we might have set up cockroach.
Right. Whoops.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So there's that. Yeah. So she might have been complicit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In a setup, which she is not fond of.
Right.
And we'll get a little more into that in the next episode.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll just leave it there because we don't want to spoil.
I'm not going to spoil anything. That's as far as I was going to go.
Yeah. And she was the one who tried to suggest to Luke, hey, you could call Danny. I mean, he hooked me up with a new arm. I'm pretty sure he can help you out.
Right. I like their conversations.
Yeah.
Misty and
they did. I mean, they're very real.
Mm-hmm.
And they get along rather well. That's why I'm kind of wondering, like, well, they got to get Luke with Misty instead of Jessica.
I don't think they're going to hook up. It seems more of a peer-to-peer conversation.
Yeah.
You know,
but they do get along
partners.
rather well. They do get along. But yeah, it's like they're the buddy cop movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think she considers him.
She's got a bionic arm. He's got superpowers.
Right.
Together, they fight crime.
You know, one of the lines I enjoyed from this episode was Foggy saying, "When do I get superpowers?"
That's true.
It was funny.
Yeah. So it was kind of nice to see Foggy. Yeah, because we do get Eldon Henson as returning as Foggy, which was cool. So points right there for Foggy.
Yeah, I love
That's probably
Foggy.
why I gave it a little higher than you.
Oh, I love Foggy.
Yep. Everybody loves Foggy.
Mm-hmm. I thought Mariah's storyline was a little weak in this episode until the very end. Yep. So.
Oh, and this episode ends with Luke stopping the guys, and Piranha's like begging Luke for protection, and then Luke tells him that, hey, if you want to hire this hero, the price just doubled.
Correct.
So there you go.
And we pretty much open at exactly the same point in the next episode.
Okay. So anything else about this episode before we move on?
No. I didn't see your remark on me putting that there.
Oh, the having to earn dollars?
Dollars.
Dollars?
I almost put an H there. Dollars.
Yeah. You want to go?
I'm just an idiot. After Shark Week, sometimes I put a little clarification.
No, I should say that Shark Week. She spelled it now. Very clever. Shark, W-E-A-K.
Week. Yes.
Not like Shark Week on Discovery Channel.
Right.
This is Shark Week?
Question mark? Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes I clarify what it's referring to, what the storyline actually refers to. So afterwards, I put having to earn dollars.
Yep.
Because, you know, we're talking about Luke Cage.
Gots to get paid.
Dollars. Because, you know, Shark Week, it's not just about that one little thing. It's about
dollars. We're just talking about dollars.
That's right.
It's just
I think it's the only one I did clarify.
All right.
Okay,
so
anyway, no.
Anything else?
No, nothing else.
All right, what's your rating?
8 counterfeit uniforms.
Yep. And I was a little more generous than you. I gave it 8.5. I thought this was actually a rather good episode.
It was a good one.
Especially compared to the downers that the past couple have been. 8.5 bionic arms.
Very nice.
Because obviously, bionic arm. How awesome is that?
It was very cool.
All right. So, the return now of Wynonna Earp.
Wynonna Earp.
Welcome back to the Phantom Zone, Wynonna.
Welcome back.
Yep. So, the first episode of season 3, Blood Red and Going Down.
Your gun was your ticket out. Welcome back. I'm sorry.
Oh. Okay, now you just slid into Welcome Back, Cotter.
Yeah, sorry. You said welcome back.
I know.
Okay. Blood Red and Going Down.
See, now I'm just poking your bear.
Yeah, you
there. Written by showrunner Emily Andrus, directed by Paulo Barzman.
Alrighty.
What's our A, B, and C, if you would, please?
Well, my A story is, Mama, don't let your daughters grow up to be vampires.
Nice.
And your A story is?
My A story is Wynonna the Vampire Slayer.
Very nice. It's the same storyline, but you had a good title, so I wanted you to get it in there. And really, that's the whole story, but there are a couple other things I wanted to mention.
The reason I did this is, hey, This episode is basically Wynonna acting like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, pretty much.
And everybody else acting like the Scooby Gang.
Yes. Yes, very much so.
So what are your reasons?
Well, they do talk to their mother.
Right.
So Mama.
Right. That's true. We get to see Wynonna's mom.
Right.
And I was just like, wait, what?
Right. And one of her daughters is a vampire or wants to be a vampire in this episode. So that's why I picked that.
So yeah, Wynonna's mom is the big mystery here. Like what?
She certainly is.
She just turned up off season and
she didn't. Apparently Wynonna has known where she is.
And she's in prison.
That's right.
Apparently.
That's right.
Interesting.
Wynonna has always known where she was, apparently.
Yeah, so she's been lying all this time. So I'm guessing Waverly doesn't know.
Waverly does not know. She was going to tell her.
Because Wynonna has secrets.
That's right. Speaking of which, the other two storyline titles, and they're not really storyline titles, they're just something we should talk about. Dead Town's Curve.
Won't come back from Dead Town's Curve. Dead Town's Curve. It's no place to play. Dead Town's Curve.
And then the C story is Soul, Soul, Survivor. And that's talking about Deputy Hot being the survivor of that cult.
Right.
And the cult is apparently going to be the big bad this season.
Okay. I was kind of wondering what that was going to be.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were the way they were building this up was that the vampire.
Well, that guy outside of town is part of the cult.
Okay.
Or the guy who puts the thing in that other guy's mouth, whatever.
Okay.
Is part of the cult.
All right. So what do you want to talk about first?
Bullshar is the name of the cult.
Mamas don't let your great daughters grow up to be vampires.
Let's leave that.
Okay.
The vampires come into town and they kind of lay waste to the bar.
Basically, it's this strip club called Pussy Willows.
Pussy Willows.
Which is the brilliant name for a strip club.
There has to be 100 strip clubs named that, though, right? I mean,
probably. But there was a great opening scene where, so there's a great opening scene where Wynonna, who is kind of rather drunk, basically doing her best Deborah Winger on the mechanical bull.
On the mechanical bull, yeah.
And decides the bull is thirsty. So she pours like beer on the mechanical bull.
Although I don't think she was really drunk.
Maybe you thought she was just pretending to be drunk?
Yeah, because she catches someone outside the bar,
It's kind of hard depending on her, She's always drinking, so.
Right.
So she gets thrown out of the bar and gets promptly surrounded by a bunch of revenants.
Right.
Taunting her about her baby, which is not cool.
No, not cool.
Yeah.
No.
So, and then from there we get she deals with them, and next day or later or something, Sheriff Nedley gets glamored by a vampire as they come driving into town in their party van. So it's kind of like these Eurotrash vampires coming in.
It's like a party bus.
Yeah, it's like this big party bus van.
Yeah,
thing.
So weird.
And so they glamour him and then drive right in, and then
they kill a bunch of people.
Right.
And they leave these markings on the people.
Right. Which
Officer Hot sees and has a panic attack.
Right.
And then we get a payoff at the end of the episode where
apparently, because we find out that they belong to this cult of Bouchard.
Correct.
Right.
And when Dolls comes and talks to her at the end of the episode, she says, "I do believe there was a survivor of this cult, and I think it was me."
Right.
So
that's a sole survivor. So
right.
Yeah.
She ties into that. And then with the mama storyline, at the beginning of the episode, we see Wynonna go and talk to her mother in prison. And then at the end of the episode, she decides to tell Waverly, but they get sidelined by someone on the road.
Yep.
We don't see who it is, but
nope.
They crash.
She starts to hand Waverly a visitor's pass for the local prison.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's just like, look out, look out, look out.
Yeah.
Leader of the pack.
I knew you'd get that in.
I had to work in it. I came up with it.
I know. It was a good one. And they crash, and whoever it is that ran them off the road drags Waverly away and leaves Wynonna back in the wreckage.
Yep.
So
I hope
happens.
I hope to God it's not Bobo.
Oh, God. Can we please not have Bobo back?
Because remember, he's all about Waverly.
I know he is.
So please, God,
he's dead, though, right?
They keep coming back on this show. He was dead in season 1.
I know.
He came back in season 2. So it could be Bobo.
I know.
I hope it's not.
No, I do have to say I am heartbroken about Alice. Because Doc is genuinely gutted over it.
Right.
That he had to take their girl out and give her away.
Right.
There was this little interchange between Wynonna and Doc where one of them says to Alice and the other one says always. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, the feels.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Well, Doc, I think, is taking it even harder than Wynonna.
He is super hard.
Because you notice they made a comment about, like, well, it's been how long since, Alice was born? And Doc's like, well, it's been 19 weeks.
19 weeks. He knows exactly how long.
He knows it like he's been, like, every day checking off the calendar.
Right, because he knows how old his daughter is.
Right.
And it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah. And it's obviously causing this, like, I don't want to say friction, but just this kind of wall between Wynonna and Doc.
Yeah, it is. And it's so sad.
Yeah.
They're talking about how he's got sad eyes and...
Yeah. I'm just waiting for, like, Alice to come back as an adult through whatever demonic means and try to kill them, because that's what always happens.
Oh, let's not. Let's not.
Yeah, that she's very angry about being given up and comes back as an adult, time travels or something, and kills them.
I don't want that. I mean, I wouldn't mind her coming back as...
an adult?
Being a little older.
Yeah.
But please, no killing.
Right.
No killing.
Okay.
They're setting it up for them to love their daughter.
Yeah.
So let's not change that.
Let's see. So maybe we'll get a reunion by the season's end.
I would like that to happen because he is really sad over it.
Right. And Jeremy apparently has, like, he's so fixated on Doc.
He has a porn stash.
He grew a porn stash, and just like the little point under the bottom lip, just like Doc.
It looks terrible.
He's like, his face is all mustache.
Yes. It really is.
It's like he's like almost like Groucho Marx, the stick of this mustache.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
When I saw him on the screen, I laughed out loud because...
It's like if Groucho Marx had a goatee. That's what this would look like. Right?
It's bad. It looks like he's wearing one of those Groucho Marx nose mustache things with a fake... Like one of those Bender...
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Yes. If you're a Futurama fan, you caught that reference.
Yeah.
The evil Bender.
The little magnet.
Yeah, the little magnet. The pointy goatee magnet. Yes. Yes,
that's exactly what it was.
That's perfect.
I am wearing the Hypnotoad shirt today, so...
All glory to the Hypnotoad. Yeah. All right.
I just made my shirt go around in a circle for those of you that...
What is this bizarre segue? We're talking... Can we...
What is this bizarre segue that's happening?
Yeah, that's happening. That's it.
All right, so anyway, So for the main story, these vampires come into town on a party bus. They glamour Hot first, then Waverly. Well, okay, the sheriff first,
Yep.
then Hot, then Waverly, and then just blow through the town until they start a party.
Yep.
They can't glamour Doc. They can't glamour Dolls, and they can't glamour Wynonna.
So what they do is they knock her out,
Mm-hmm.
and then apparently while she's unconscious, they dress her.
Yeah.
And do her hair
Right.
into like this whole goth princess kind of look here.
Yeah. Now, it was Hot and Waverly doing it.
Right.
So at least there's that.
But still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wakes up. So Wynonna wakes up in this coffin because, of course, she was put in a coffin.
Mm-hmm.
And she wakes up and she's like, looks down and like, what am I wearing?
Right. It was very surreal.
It was.
I'm hoping Jeremy wasn't a part of it because Jeremy was there.
Right. Well,
time.
he would want to undress Doc. I'm just saying.
He would.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong
You're
in this
not.
assumption? Thank you.
Now, Doc was waylaid by someone that he used to know named Contessa.
Yeah. So we kind of get a new character in this.
Right. And we don't learn a lot about her, and that's why I didn't put her in the storyline titles.
I think they're setting her up.
Right. So
I think this is just the introduction.
We're introduced to her.
Yeah.
And we'll hear more about her.
She apparently really actually cares for Doc.
She cares about Doc, yes.
Because she doesn't want Doc to become a vampire.
Right. So she waylays him, essentially.
Yeah. She tells him to stay put.
Right.
And
then Dolls is just kind of, not able to be charmed. So what do they do? Do they do anything or?
I'm trying to remember what they do with Dolls.
I don't remember.
I know.
I don't remember either.
I give up. They do say that, there's an explanation that Jeremy says, well, you're a lizard, Xavier.
Okay.
So that's why they couldn't do it. It was because he was a dragon.
Oh, okay. Right.
So.
I like how Wynonna says, Agent Xavier Pamela Dolls.
They probably tied him up or something.
And someone said, pretty sure his middle name's not Pamela.
Yeah.
And then she says, do you know what it is?
Yeah. That was pretty good. I think that was Wynonna and Waverly, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
No, Wynonna and Hot, Officer Hot.
Oh, you're right. Right. Yeah.
Wynonna says, Agent Xavier Pamela Dolls. And she says, pretty sure his middle name's not Pamela.
I thought that was a good
Do you know what it is? Like she's trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
And Dolls also calls Wynonna his partner. Wynonna tries to say that Dolls is her boss.
Right.
And Doll says, my partner.
Yeah.
So
he sees them as... He sees her and him as equals.
Yeah, which I loved.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's actually... He seems concerned about Wynonna, how she's feeling about losing Alice.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He also says something about making the right choice most of the time.
Right.
Which is kind of a...
Well, and he's looking over at Doc as he says
right. A kind of a dig.
It's a dig on Doc.
Right.
Yes.
You didn't pick me over him kind of thing. Yeah, I loved that a lot. Lots of really good lines in this. Really kind of, poking and saying, if you haven't watched this over the last couple of years, go back and binge it.
Yeah. And if you didn't catch the Buffy, references here, we even have, a scene where they fashion stakes.
Right.
Just like on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
And they use them many times.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah.
Yeah. I like how she asks Waverly, who's your favorite vampire? And then she kills her right afterwards.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Yeah. Now, it wasn't the best opening this show has had for the season.
Yeah.
But it was entertaining.
It was very good.
All right. So what's your rating?
I gave it 8 cravats.
Right.
Because the sheriff is wearing a cravat.
Right. Yes. Why isn't Hot the sheriff by now?
She really should be.
She really should be.
Mm-hmm.
I keep waiting for, what's his name, Nedley to die.
Yeah. Nedley says, it's European. Do you like it? I'm trying to make a good impression. And Waverly says, On whom? Mr. Darcy?
Yes, that was a good little line. I like that one.
So I had
And then Waverly has to explain who Darcy is
Right.
because nobody has seen Pride and Prejudice or
Right.
watched it or read it. So yeah.
So I picked cravats.
And then Hot or somebody says Emily Bronte or something.
Right.
And then she corrects it like, no, Jane Austen.
Jane Austen. Yeah, it's very cool.
It was very funny. We're in sync again in this one. I give it 8 mechanical bulls.
Very nice.
So, yep.
Love lift us up where we belong. Sorry, it's Officer and a Gentleman. They rode mechanical bulls in that movie.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know. I never
And
watched
Gillies.
I didn't watch it.
Oh. Well, that was the whole thing with that movie.
I've never seen Officer and a Gentleman.
Okay. That's where the whole fad came from. Was them.
That's why no, I thought it was Urban Cowboy.
Oh,
with John
maybe.
Travolta.
Yeah. But it's still Deborah Winger
Right.
writing it.
You're
That's
right.
why I have it mixed up.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know of the reference, but
okay. So I'm tying it with Deborah Winger.
Okay, that's good. All right, that makes sense. All right, I was thinking Urban Cowboy.
Two separations.
Yeah. All right.
Let's pretend.
All right. So, do we have some Justina feedback?
We
this
do.
week? All right, let's play that.
Hi, Karen and Charles. That episode of Cloak and Dagger was intense. This story is in high gear now. The bad cop got arrested, but somehow I think these charges are not going to stick and maybe cause more trouble than we had before. Either way, it's going to cause a high-action end to the season. I remain very interested in the story. I'm excited to see Tandy getting more evidence to clear her father's name. This episode gets 10 out of 10 documents requesting heat shields. Is there going to be a special segment next week on the Phantom Zone podcast covering any news that comes out of San Diego Comic-Con? Or will there be a dedicated blog post on Damn Good Coffee or Hot? I'm super excited to hear all the Comic-Con news. Have a super week.
Ooh, that's perfectly set up there, Justina.
It is.
Put me on the spot, but that's okay. Yeah, there was a bunch of Comic-Con news, and mostly trailers. We got the big trailers. So we got, and I posted these on. I was pretty busy on Damn Good Coffee this weekend, if anybody noticed.
Yes, I did.
So I got the Aquaman trailer, which looks awesome.
It does.
That was great. Especially those Atlantis scenes. Yeah. Jason Momoa, whatever. Sorry, you can have Jason Momoa. I've got Amber Heard as Mira.
Amber Heard is also very hot.
Hot.
Damn good coffee and hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the new Shazam trailer, which looked fun, and basically like the superhero version of Big.
It's Chuck / Big mashed up together.
So you're all there.
I am all there.
You're all in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's essentially Chuck.
Yeah.
He gets the intersect on Chuck.
Right.
And he becomes whatever. So now he's Shazam instead.
Yeah, exactly. So we also had a new Star Trek Discovery trailer, which looked cool because we got the first look at Christopher Pike. Anson Mount, who played Black Bolt on the Inhumans, is playing the new Christopher Pike. And they teased Spock. We got some news that, oh, hey, there's a new DC Universe series, Stargirl.
Yep.
Coming out. So a new edition of the Phantom Zone in 2019.
That's right.
So this is obviously Jeff Johns is overseeing this baby because he created Stargirl as like the second Star Spangled Kid, Courtney Whitmore, who is based off his real life sister that was killed.
Right. So it's a personal thing.
It's a very personal thing, but Stargirl is a great character.
She is.
And they've hinted that the JSA, Justice Society of America, will be in play as well. So that's awesome.
Right.
I'd rather have a Justice Society series, but that's me.
Yeah.
But hey. And we did get some casting news.
Yeah, I could do without Chris Klein.
Yeah, Chris Klein is apparently going to be the big bad of the Flash season 5 as Cicada.
I'm not a fan of his.
Yeah, well, we'll see how he is as a bad guy.
I know. I'll reserve judgment.
Cicada looks like he's behind a mask.
Yeah.
So that might help.
Sure.
We'll see. But and they confirmed they've released a trailer, and they confirmed that Barry and Iris's daughter is going to be called XS.
Awesome.
So it looks like they're merging the characters.
Great.
Like they merged XS with Dawn Allen, and they came up with Nora West Allen.
Excellent.
But you remember how I commented how she had XS's personality?
Right. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Right.
So, guess who called that one?
You did. Yay.
Yeah, I did. So
and
I
I saw the Supergirl trailer where Sam Witwer does the voiceover.
Yeah. Well, Sam Witwer is actually going to be playing Agent Liberty, a DC superhero that apparently in this Supergirl, this continuity is a villain.
Right.
So,
well,
because he's like a leader of this hate group, and so he'll be probably a villain in this show.
Yeah, the voiceover was very menacing, definitely.
Yeah. So, and then we also got news that Alice Eve, who played the modern Carol Marcus, Dr. Carol Marcus, in Star Trek Into Darkness. She's going to be playing Typhoid Mary on Iron Fist.
Right.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
So Daredevil villain Typhoid Mary is going to be turning up on Iron Fist this season. So that's
right.
cool.
That's right. And from what I heard about the Iron Fist panel, a lot of people are happy with the stuff coming out of the Iron Fist panel. So.
Well, they had nowhere to go but up.
Right.
Sure, but yeah. I mean, I actually liked Iron Fist. I'm one of the few people that actually liked the first season, but I know a lot of people didn't.
I know.
But apparently, a lot of people are, especially after Danny appeared on this season of Luke Cage that we're discussing, they liked his appearance there. They thought it was like that episode alone was better than anything in season 1 of Iron Fist.
Right.
And the Defenders.
And the Defenders, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody's opinion of Iron Fist is going to start shifting.
I hope so, because I really did like it.
Yeah, we obviously want a better series.
It wasn't as good as Jessica Jones or Daredevil or Luke Cage, but I liked it.
And the big news we got also from DC Universe, we got the first Titans trailer.
I thought it looked really good.
Yeah, I was not a fan of some things. Some things I liked, but some things I did not like.
All right. You're going to talk about that, though, on the Titans podcast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could talk a little bit about it here, but, I mean, we're going to talk about it more on Titan Talk, the Titans podcast.
Right.
So look forward to episode 7 when Jesse and I talk about that.
The trailer.
We're going to talk about that more in depth. But was not a fan of Dick Grayson saying F Batman.
Oh, come on. I thought that was cool.
That's Jason Todd's attitude. And they've got Jason Todd on in the season of Titans. So I don't know
so they could have had him do it.
So I don't know exactly. So I don't know why they're turning Dick Grayson. And Dick Grayson is stepping on bad guys' necks and killing them.
Yeah.
That is not Dick Grayson.
Could have been Jason Todd.
That should have been Jason Todd.
Right.
But it wasn't.
Okay, I get that.
So, not really a fan.
I kind of giggled at the F Batman line, though.
And they still keep showing Starfire in the hooker outfit.
Yeah.
Even though she supposedly comes from a 70s disco party. That's all they keep showing her in is that
hello.
Hooker outfit.
They want boys to watch. I'm just telling you.
But they're turning out the fanboys.
Yeah, well.
So, and apparently a lot of people were not happy with it. A lot
of people are critical of it.
Yeah, I'd say I followed this pretty closely on Twitter. I'd say it went about 75 against 25-4. So probably 3 out of every 4 people hated it. The other quarter really loved it. So
I watched it just from an enjoyment, an entertainment standpoint. Like I tried not to critique it. Yeah. And I thought it looked entertaining. So
And I also wondered why Dove, a pacifist character, is slicing dudes' faces up.
Yeah, that bothered me.
Yeah.
Because Hawk is supposed to be the warlike.
Yeah,
and Dove is supposed to be peaceful.
Yes. Hence Hawk and Dove.
Right.
So, yeah. So that kind of made
that is why their name.
That made no sense to me.
Hawk and Dove.
So I'm just like, okay, we're just trying to be way too edgy here.
Yeah.
So hopefully it will be better than what we've seen. I think a lot of it has been a marketing misfail.
Maybe.
I think the way this has been presented, especially when you're trying to hook everybody, I don't think having Dick Grayson say F Batman and step on and kill people is the way to go.
Is the best marketing plan, yeah.
No.
Did you already purchase your...
I did. So I already signed up for it.
Well, there's enough on the channel to warrant it, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, because, just besides Titans, they're going to come out with Doom Patrol, they're coming out with Swamp Thing, and, of course, now we got Stargirl.
Right.
And the Young Justice animated series,
right.
Young Justice Outsiders. So, in addition to, all the back catalog stuff, we're going to get Wonder Woman in HD for the first time, and Batman the Animated Series in HD.
Right.
So...
Yeah, I thought it sounded like a good deal.
Yeah. And they'll probably have the Flash and all kinds of obscure stuff. And
yeah, they said they were going to play the old Flash on it.
Yeah.
The Flash from the 80s.
Yeah, probably Lois and Clark.
Probably.
I would think. Smallville, maybe. We might get Smallville.
Sure.
So.
They'll be able to recycle some of that older stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love that Smallville is older stuff now.
Yeah, I know. Maybe they'll get Gotham after Gotham ends.
Stop it.
What?
It's not older stuff yet.
It's going to be.
Constantine's going to be on.
Constantine will be on there. Yeah, we know that. So that's cool. So Constantine has a new home if you want to watch that. I have the Blu-ray, so,
Yeah, me too.
But no big deal
I can watch it whenever I want, but yeah.
Yeah,
we signed up already.
The fact that they're going to have other shows. So, yeah, so.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was worth the $75 a year.
Yeah, so I signed up. They asked for the cash up front, so heads up.
You can pay $7 a week once it gets going.
Yeah, if you don't want to sign up in advance,
right,
you can wait until it launches, and then you can just pay it on a monthly fee.
Right.
But yeah, otherwise, now if you pay for it in advance, it's cheaper because they give you 15 months.
Right.
For $79.99 or whatever, which works out to $6.40 or something a month. So
it is a little less if you
$6.49 a month. I think
if you sign up early.
Yeah.
And then of course you run the risk of being one of those people that buys it and then they go under like Yahoo. Or
that's always a risk. But
I somehow doubt it.
Yeah, I do too. I think just because they've already offering way more content than CBS All Access. So that's still around.
Yeah, they already have a whole slate of stuff lined up.
Yeah, they're invested in this. So hopefully they haven't scared off a lot of people from subscribing because I saw a lot of that. I don't think so. But
with that one thing, Doom Patrol.
Yeah, maybe they won't sign up right away. I know a lot of people are just going to sign up when Young Justice becomes available. So we'll see. Maybe once they get it signed up for that, they'll look at other stuff.
You had me at DC.
I know, exactly. So I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in anyway. So, and I'm hoping to get beta tested. For that.
That'd be
awesome. I signed up for the beta testing. Hopefully I'll get picked for that.
Very cool.
So Jesse did too, by the way.
My husband probably did.
Yeah.
Because he signed up.
We'll see. All right. So hopefully that's a quick San Diego Con rundown. I tried to get through that pretty quickly.
You did.
But, all right.
So if you want us to talk to you after your feedback, like we just talked to Justina after her feedback.
Yes.
You can write to us at fandomzonecast@gmail.com.
At the Gmail.
Or you can go to Facebook and look up Fandom Zone Podcast, or go to facebook.com/Fandom Zone Podcast.
Right.
You can talk to us on Twitter, and it's at Fandom Zonecast.
Yep.
And on Instagram, we are at Fandom Zone Podcast.
Right.
Or you can listen and subscribe to us on Apple Podcast and leave us a review.
Yeah, please do. We haven't had any reviews on there for a while.
Not a long time.
Yeah, so let us know what you think, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the show. And if you have some suggestions, drop us a line. Let us know what you'd like to have us talk about.
We do get people on Facebook more often.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Yep. So drop us a line. Always great to hear from everybody, like Ken from Chicago, or
Justina,
Fred Firestein.
Fred.
Yeah. So yeah. Lots of people. All right.
Lots of people.
Karen, where can they reach you on the interwebs?
I am at Aleveria, Aleveria, on the Twitter machine. And in my bio is a link to my blog. And you can go there to see all my other links. You can also see in my timeline that I am playing World of Warcraft right now because they just dropped the pre-patch. So,
all right.
Yeah. I'm also working a lot, but I'm trying to play a little.
Do you want to give out your gamer tag?
Do I?
I don't know. Hesitant about it? Okay. That's fair.
No, it's Aleveria 1705.
Okay.
If you want to hit me up. No one will hit me up.
Well, you never know.
I'm also Aleveria on Twitch.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm Aleveria everywhere.
Everywhere. All right. So, So, as for me, of course, at Charles Skaggs, pretty much at Charles Skaggs everywhere. At Charles Skaggs on the Instagram, at Charles Skaggs on the Twitter, and Google Plus for you crazy kids on the Google Plus. Facebook, of course, at Charles Skaggs in Hilliard, Ohio. And my blog of geeky things.
Damn good coffee and hot.
Where I talk about all the stuff that I talk about here on the Phantom Zone podcast and more. Hot. Officer hot. Way hot. So, and then like all the San Diego Con news that I just ran down. If you want to see all the trailers and all the breakdowns, and I try to do like really detailed casting. Just like I give character backgrounds on the characters that they're playing. I do pretty detailed ones.
I find new things in your posts all the time that I didn't know.
Lots of links to other pages and
lots
stuff.
Lots of minutia.
This rabbit hole that you will go down and never escape.
Yep.
It's all designed.
It will take you to YouTube.
Excellent.
And you will go to a million other videos that you will never dig your way out of.
It's all part of the plan.
It is.
All right. So come on back next week as we talk about the same exact shows that we talk about this week.
That's right. Except different.
Yeah, different episodes.
Same, but different.
Same shows. Yeah.
But different.
Yeah. And hopefully more entertaining. So.
Right.
We'll try to be more.
Same entertainment level.
Okay. Well, we always want to try to be better.
But we're always good.
I didn't say that we're bad here. I'm just saying that we could probably be better next episode.
We'll aim to be better.
We will aim to be better.
We'll probably be the same, though.
Or worse in my case.
Not true.
Well, we'll see, because next week, guess who's having nasal surgery, you guys?
That's right.
So, we'll see. We'll play it by...
We'll see how he sounds next week, everybody.
Exactly. So, well, here's the thing. So, if we record, I have the nasal surgery on the 31st of July.
Alrighty.
So, hopefully we can get recorded before then.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll have the week to recuperate.
Okay.
And then hopefully sound a lot better in 2 episodes from now.
Awesome.
Fingers crossed. Because I know this is annoying you because it's annoying me.
No, it doesn't annoy me. I put up with a lot for you. I would put up with a lot for you.
Oh, okay. I thought you said I put up with a lot with you.
No, I would put up with a lot for you.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So, everybody, I guess we'll see you next time right here
on the Phantom Zone.
Out.
Wonder Woman, wow.
Pussy Willows.
Well